Hello YouTube, Jonathan800 here. So today I will be talking about my Union of Britain game. So despite it having no new content for a while, well, technically the Irish stuff is new content, but the Union of Britain has had one of the older focus trees in Kaiserreich. So I do know that they are going to get a rework, but I decided to play them now in its current state, and it was actually surprisingly fun. So initially at the start of the game, I go help the left KMT, and during it I have the balance of power thing with Ireland. And if I get 15 more points than the Germans, I will be able to puppet them. So afterwards, I realized that the left KMT is doomed to fail because I was too busy trying to close encirclements instead of rushing victory points. So I just left. And after I left, I decided to go help with the Spanish Civil War. For the longest time, there wasn't really much going on. I struggled to do much with my one division and lack of air superiority. But for some reason, I don't know why, the AI decided that planes were not needed, so I was able to get air superiority. Also, during this time, we helped the Combined Syndicates of America. So I was mostly focused on Spain because in the European theater, Spain is very important because if you don't win it, France has a second front. So it's quite important. So afterwards, I am making some progress in Spain. I also decided to completely overdo the Irish balance of power, where I have like 50 plus points. As you tell, I'm not as scripted as usual. So I can only really focus on like 2 proxy wars at one time. So I mostly just rush down Spain. I do occasionally look at the US to do something there because Floyd Olson became president. So, and based on what he did, there was no Pacific government. There we go. And so it meant it was harder for the Combined Syndicates to do much, and also the American Union state pretty much folded. As you saw, the border between the federal government and American Union state were stagnant because they did the deal with the devil, so they ceasefired against the CSA. Didn't matter, as I was making progress nonetheless. So, also helping out in the Italy campaign, the Italian Republic attacked the Socialist Republic of Italy, and it went quite poorly for them because I instantly decided to focus them down immediately before they could cause any issues. There goes the American Union state, and here goes the federal and Republican government of the United States. So I did make a naval invasion of Sardinia. It worked first try, trust me on that. No, it didn't. So either way, I won most of the proxy wars. You also briefly saw Argentina collapse. I somewhat tried. I was about to make some epic encirclements, but the Argentinians failed to defend their capital. So, Second Weltkrieg, we did have Switzerland. Italy declared war on them, and we pushed them immediately. But surprisingly, I expected the Netherlands to defend their own country better, because Kaiserreich has like a bajillion units, and I was surprised to not see most of them on port garrisons, because I swear that's how it goes. So I'm moving over my tank divisions. They are 36 with. There's a decimation of the German High Seas Fleet. Pretty nice, if you ask me. So 36 with tank divisions. They are 10 8s, 10 medium tanks with 8 motorized. I am slowly replacing them with mechanized. Also, there were quite a few support companies. I don't remember if I put flame tanks in in them, but if you ever want really good tank divisions, the 10-8 is pretty decent. And during this whole time, the entire front's been collapsing. Like, there goes the entire army there. And when I checked, it was at least 600,000 casualties from the 3rd International alone. So that was pretty nice. I never really bothered to check what the Eastern Front was looking like because I was just busy microing and such. So all you'll see is here. I'm not sure if Russia pushed or not for the reasons I said earlier, but the Germans were not having a good time because these tanks, I designed them to be somewhat mobile. Not the most mobile, they are only going 7... No, I actually got some speed increases through focus trees and such. So they're going 8 kilometers something per hour, so they are able to make encirclements. That's why I always prefer actual tank divisions over space marines, because you actually have maneuverability with tanks. Also, just space marines can be good for just against AI, because they will never know how to counter a high hardness or armor division. Also, I decided to go for a giant encirclement by reaching the Swiss border. You'll see how that goes in a bit. But when it comes to Space Marines, yes, they work. They won't work. They shouldn't work well in multiplayer because people will actually invest in anti-tank. It would also just be nice to see that AI actually put support anti-air in their divisions. That way, it will actually counter most of your weaker Space Marines. One of the biggest encirclements I've done, I think the biggest I've done in Kaiserreich. Well, actually, I don't think anything can beat the one in my Sheep Mod Soviet game where I encircle like 30 army groups. That pause was me posting that on the Hoi4 Discord channel. So yeah, but over 500,000 troops are in that. And the 1st Republican Marines Division was the first to enter Berlin. The Kaiserreich soon fell, got a few stuff, and I promptly regret not putting on player led. It is in Kaiserreich, but I am surprised they didn't make it the first thing, like automatically enabled. There we go, words. So I got military access with Americans. The problem is that they went free the New World instead of good syndicalist soldier. Can't believe it. Borderline treason. But after making some... Hello, phone notification. After making some pushes, I eventually realized that New England only has cores on its states. So I could encircle pretty much the entire Canadian army by capping New England, and that's what I did. They completely folded because their entire army got encircled basically, and with that, Canada fell. I decided to take my gains, so there will never be a United Canada, sadly, and it's actually mostly Quebec. So Japan went ham on this game, like, good for them. So when I had to invade the Dominion of India, there was no port. And there was a crap ton of units. Like, what is that? Like 80 on one tile? I was extremely concerned for this invasion. South Africa didn't join the conflict either, so that's kind of weird. So I'm just rushing and hoping that I can keep my troops alive. I was building a port at this time, but eventually I do manage to get them. And after taking out one state of Finland, or technically 2 states, that's pretty much the game is done. Serbia had a war goal on our puppet Croatia, but they never did anything about it. So there's always going to be some ugly wars between the 3rd International and the Moscow Accord. But yeah, that is that. So thanks for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, you know the deal. And this is Jonathan 800 signing out.